And the hits keep on coming in Your Vote 2012.
I'm offended for all the little girls and the parents that didn't have a choice.
What health-related issues sparked this debate?
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants!
And the great debate over SpongeBob SquarePants. Is he bad for your child's brain? And whether your children are ready to get connected. The questions you need to ask before you buy them a cell phone. Your independent news network starts right now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Mickle. Welcome to INN News. We begin with Your Vote 2012, and another Republican debate is done. 8 candidates took part in the Tea Party debate last night in Tampa, Florida. It didn't take long for the top 2 GOP presidential contenders, Governor Rick Perry and Mitt Romney, to clash over Social Security.
Terrific state, no question about that. Some wonderful things that Texas has going for it that the nation could learn from. Zero income tax, that's a pretty good thing. Right to work state, Republican legislature, Republican Supreme Court. By the way, a lot of oil as well. We're an energy-rich nation. We're living like an energy-poor nation.
If you are allowing the Federal Reserve to be used for political purposes, that it would be almost treasonous. I think that is a very clear statement of fact. I am not a fan of the current chairman allowing that Federal Reserve to be used to cover up bad fiscal policy by this administration, and that, I will suggest to you, is what we have seen.
Perry and Romney took over the debate several times on many different issues. Candidate Newt Gingrich had this to say about the bickering.
I'm not particularly worried about Governor Perry and Governor Romney frightening the American people when President Obama scares them every single day.
There was plenty of other talk about serious issues and other candidates weighing in on a variety of other topics, from jobs to spending to health care.
I know that everything's bigger in Texas, and Rick likes to talk that way, and I know all the smart people reside in Massachusetts, but let me just tell you, Utah, the great state of Utah, was #1 in job creation at 5.9% during my years as governor.
When we wake up in the morning, we expect 60 minutes to be in an hour. Now, when we wake up because of some of the actions of the current Fed, we don't know what the value of the dollar is going to be.
We have lack of competition. There's no competition in medicine. Everybody's protected by licensing. We should actually legalize alternative health care.
The HPV vaccine also became a topic of debate, Governor Rick Perry having to defend himself over his mandate that preteen girls get the vaccine back in 2007. Perry says he regrets using an executive order instead of working with state lawmakers.
The question is it about life or was it about millions of dollars and potentially billions for a drug company?
All right.
The company was Merck, and it was a $5,000 contribution that I had received from them. I raised about $30 million. And if you're saying that I can be bought for $5,000, I'm offended.
Well, I'm offended for all the little girls and the parents that didn't have a choice. That's what I'm offended for.
There is no government purpose served for having little girls inoculated at the force and compulsion of the government. This is big government run amok. It is bad policy, and it should not have been done.
Perry says he was trying to stand up against cancer since HPV can lead to cervical cancer. As for the order, Texas lawmakers overturned it. Meanwhile, Perry is getting the support of another Southern governor. Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal is backing him. He made the announcement before last night's debate.
You look at the record, what he's done in Texas. This election, I believe, is about the jobs, about the economy. We've got President Obama, who believes we're going to tax, borrow, spend our way into prosperity. Rick Perry understands he has held that line on taxes. He's cut regulations.
Perry continues to lead in recent polls. Voters in New York are heading to the polls today for a special election. They're deciding who will fill former Democratic Congressman Anthony Weiner's vacated House seat. Here you see file of Weiner, who resigned earlier this year following a sexting scandal. Today's race pits Republican Bob Turner against Democrat David Weprin. A recent poll shows Turner leading Weprin by 6 percentage points. The U.S. Embassy in Afghanistan's capital is under attack. Here you can see the tense scene in Kabul today after militants stormed an abandoned building near the embassy earlier. People working at the embassy were told to take cover. Afghan police blocked off the area. No one inside the embassy was hurt. The Taliban issued a statement saying its fighters are behind the violence. U.S. troops in Tripoli for the first time since the fall of Muammar Gaddafi. A 4-member team is assessing damage at the U.S. Embassy. It was ransacked by Gaddafi supporters in May. U.S. diplomatic staff are evaluating whether the embassy can ever be restored or whether they might have to build or move to another building and start up a new one. Time for Global News Now, and you're looking at the scene of a major accident in Argentina's capital. Several people are dead after a train slammed into a bus at a crossing in Buenos Aires this morning. The train derailed and was hit by a second train on the opposite track. Rescue crews on the scene are seen scrambling to help the crash victims. Police say about 100 people were hurt. 2 people were trapped in the wreckage. Heavy rain has brought Pakistan's commercial capital, Karachi, to a halt. Floods caused by monsoon rains have swept through, killing more than 200 people in the past month. Similar floods last year submerged almost a fifth of the country and killed about 2,000 people. A fuel pipeline exploded in a densely populated Nairobi, Kenya slum, flattening homes and killing at least 75 people. The death toll is expected to rise because many were burned very badly. The explosion happened as people siphoned fuel from the pipeline. 2 pandas in China are celebrating the Mid-Autumn Festival with 2 super-sized mooncakes. This is the first Mid-Autumn Festival at the zoo in East China. The cakes were extra large because pandas have rather large appetites. And that's your Global News Now. Well, an aunt's in hot water tonight after police say she left her nephew behind at a Walmart in Gainesville, Florida. Corinthian Dion Hankerson is charged with child neglect. Witnesses told police she left that boy roaming the store for almost 45 minutes while she went to pick up things at another store. A Good Samaritan saw the 4-year-old boy run out into the parking lot and grabbed him before he got hit by a car.
Thankfully, she was able to get the boy back into the store where Walmart employees issued several store-wide pages in an effort to locate the boy's parents. 30 minutes after the boy had been found, his aunt did return to the store where she admitted to GPD officers that she had completely forgotten about the boy once she had returned home from her shopping.
Wow, that little boy is now back with his parents. His aunt's in jail. The wings that guided a U.S. Airways jet to the water landing known as the Miracle on the Hudson are on their way to a new home. These flatbed trucks began this long, slow trip from New Jersey to North Carolina on Monday. There they will be reunited with the fuselage of Flight 1549. You'll remember that's the plane Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger safely landed in New York's Hudson River after a bird strike in January 2009. The plane is now at an air museum in Charlotte, the flight's original destination. Next, an iPhone with unlimited data. What cell company's offering that? Plus the bitter truth about beer in this bad economy. And what else is keeping people from buying some brands? Plus, living near the governor's mansion gets a little loud for some neighbors. These stories and much more still ahead on INN. Also, we want to remind you INN News is on Facebook. Now you can also find us on Twitter at INN News. And we're on YouTube. We're reaching out to you so you can reach out to us. INN News is coming right back.